Unicorn, i.e. a startup with a value of more than $1 billion to come from Manchester. I mean, there's obviously no shortage of tech entrepreneurs in the city.
Yeah, that's right. And, I spend most of my time either here in God's own country of Manchester, UK, but also in the US, particularly in Silicon Valley. Most of my investors are from Silicon Valley. Many of the partner companies that we work with, organizations like Snowflake and Databricks, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, of course, and many of our customers. Over 90% of our revenue comes from outside of the UK. And so I spend most of my time in Manchester or Silicon Valley. And the thing that sometimes surprises people, Ian, when I say it is, for me at least, I notice more similarities than differences. The hard to get stuff the UK already has in abundance. Wonderful grassroots skills and engineering talent, capital, infrastructure, an economy where businesses can thrive. And so really the only difference between how we do it here in the UK and how it's done on the west coast of the US and in other geographies where they've gotten good at building high growth consequential companies is what I call the playbook, the attitude, the brand and the set of steps that we go through. Now, as you mentioned, a few people are starting to get this right. And certainly I feel very lucky and proud to be able to be a small exemplar of this in Manchester, but we can definitely do it plenty more. We just need to learn that playbook.
All right, Matthew, there's loads more I want to ask you, but we're out of time, I'm afraid. Hopefully talk to you again in the near future. Thank you.
Thanks for having us on the show.
Well, we've just got a bit of breaking news to bring you. The UK government has said in the last few minutes it's introducing new sanctions against the Russian airline sector. The state-owned carrier Aeroflot, Ural Airlines and Rossiya Airlines will now be unable to sell their unused landing slots at UK airports. So more sanctions there against the Russian aviation sector. Now, concerns about health and climate change have seen a big rise in meat-free diets over the last decade. Recent research by Shelf Now suggests that sales of plant-based products are increasing by 230% every year. Well, one company hoping to cash in on that demand is California-based Impossible Foods, which is launching in the UK today. Joining me now is Pat Brown. He's the founder and chief visionary officer at Impossible Foods. Pat, welcome to you. This is your first UK launch. European launch. Why did you choose the UK?
Well, we've had conversations with customers in the UK for quite a number of years here, and it's a natural first place for us to launch into Europe, and British consumers they love their meat, they have very high standards for meat. And that makes it just a natural for us.
You've been going in the United States for more than 5 years now. What took you so long to come to Europe?
Well, we're still quite a young company. We've been growing very rapidly in the U.S., and it takes some serious effort to launch in a new market. So we wanted to wait until we had things lined up to do it right.
I gather the main products that are going to be launched here in the UK are chicken nuggets and sausage patties or plant-based versions of those, not your trademark Impossible Burger, which I gather hasn't had regulatory approval yet.
No, I think it's on the way to getting approval. We're hoping to launch it in the UK early next year. But in the meantime, we have other great products. In the UK, actually, chicken is the most commonly consumed meat, and starting today, basically the most delicious chicken in the UK will not be made from a bird. Our chicken nuggets in consumer tests in the US and in the UK have been preferred by 2 to 1 over the top selling animal-based chicken nuggets. And all I can say is, if you don't believe it, try it. I think they'll knock your socks off.
Now, you've just changed roles from being chief executive to chief visionary officer. What was the thinking there?
As the company's gotten bigger, the demands of running the commercial side of the business have taken up more and more of my time. And really, where I can add the most value is in leading the research and strategic initiatives and sort of long-term strategic planning, and having a really experienced CEO from the food industry to actually run the sales and marketing and the food business part of the company, I think actually lets me be more impactful.
Now, as I've mentioned in the introduction, plant-based food has been enjoying really, really supercharged growth. But two of your competitors, Maple Leaf Foods and Beyond Meat, have recently suggested that growth is stalling. Has that been your experience?
No, it has not been our experience. Actually, we're still in hypergrowth. We grew more than 50% last year in terms of our sales, and so we're not suffering from that problem. I think, frankly, we've got decisively better products, but I think an important misconception to clear up here is that we are not trying to compete with other plant-based customers. More than 90% of our customers are not vegetarians or vegans, they're omnivores. And we know from receipt data that the products that our sales are displacing in the consumers' baskets are not plant-based products, but animal products. More than 80% of our sales, the consumer is replacing animal-based meat with our product. And that really is very distinct from traditional plant-based food companies. And I think that's because we're gaining consumers not from the other plant-based food companies primarily, but from meat consumers. I think it gives us a lot better growth trajectory.
All right, Pat Brown, we have to leave it there. Great pleasure to talk to you today, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, later today sees the Ivor Novello Awards. Adele and Ed Sheeran are among those vying for the top award, recognising songwriter excellence. Well, as awards come, as songwriters and artists grow increasingly frustrated at the lack of transparency over how much record labels are earning for their work from streaming services. Meanwhile, older artists are increasingly selling their song publishing rights to companies like the one co-founded by my next guest. Merck Mercuriadis is Chief Executive and Managing Partner of Hypnosis Songs. Merck, welcome to you. Nice to see you again. A lot of artists are still paid by something called lifelong contracts. What are those and why are they in place?
Lifelong contracts are really, there are so many different issues that are facing songwriters today. When we think about it, songs are the currency of our industry. Without songs, there is no music industry. It's the start of everything. And yet songwriters are the low man or women on the totem pole. Lifelong contracts are a big problem with that. The non-disclosure agreements that record companies sign with the DSPs, the digital service providers that give us streaming services, that give no transparency to songwriters or artists as to how they're paid. Songwriters receive a royalty statement that is the equivalent of our pay slip, yet it doesn't give them a rate of pay, and it gives them no transparency into how they're going to be compensated for the incredible work that they do for these great songs that are the fabric of our society.
Why is it then that there is no transparency? Why don't the record labels and the streaming companies add clarity?
Well, that's what we're hoping for. I mean, first of all, I would give praise to the MPs that took part in the DCMS that recommended to the CMA that the relationship that exists amongst the dominance of the major recorded companies is something that should be investigated. That's something that's been going on now for a number of months. We've given evidence both previously to the DCMS and now to the CMA, and we believe that this will end up in a result where there will be a full inquiry, and we'll be able to get into exactly why songwriters don't have transparency and exactly why songwriters are being left at the bottom of the equation.
And if the Competition and Markets Authority does go ahead with a full inquiry, what sort of remedies would you like to see it urging to be rolled out?
We would like to see the non-disclosure agreements go away so that there's complete transparency in terms of in the deals that exist between the Spotifys and the Apples of this world and the major recorded music companies. We would like to have these lifelong contracts go away. and for the streaming income in those contracts to be paid as a license rather than as a sale. On a license, it'll give songwriters and artists a far greater share of the pie. It'll give artists as much as 50% of the pie, as opposed to what's currently going to songwriters, which is less than 15% of every pound that's made.
And Merck, looking at your business, one analyst recently said that the race to accumulate assets and song rights in the way that you have been and some of your rivals, he said it was like an arms race. Do you worry about the prices that you're paying in some cases?
For us, it's a little bit different. Could we have a pedigree and a motive, an ulterior motive that is appealing to the songwriter? Our motive is very clear. We're here to make money for our shareholders on the back of having established songs as an asset class. But we also have an ulterior motive, which is to take the success of our platform and to use it to change where the songwriter sits in the economic equation. And that's exactly what we're doing with our advocacy with the CMA and with the DCMS and the CRB in the U.S. And we believe ultimately that, alongside our pedigree, which is that I've made my reputation and success with artists and songwriters and producers, has made us the clear favorite amongst the songwriting community, the first choice amongst the songwriting community to sell their great songs to. And that gives us a competitive advantage over, a competing fund that perhaps only has a check to offer.
All right, Mert, we have to leave it there. Enjoy the Ivors today and hope to see you again before too long.
Thank you so much, Ian. All the best to you.
Now, the South African bank and wealth management firm Investec has reported a sharp rise in annual profits thanks to strong loan growth and a rise in funds under management. The lender, which also has a significant presence here in the city, reported an adjusted operating profit of £687.4 million for the year to the end of March, up 82% on the previous 12 months. Well, joining me now is Fani Titi. He is the Group Chief Executive of Investec. Fani, welcome to you. Nice to see you again. Which sectors are seeing the strongest loan growth right now?
Hello, Ian. Good to be here. We have a number of sectors. For instance, we saw a lot of significant growth in our mortgage business to high net worth individuals. In certain corporate sectors, we were able to see significant growth. For instance, we do have a big business that supports private equity players. As an example, we have an asset finance business here in the UK that also saw significant growth. So we have a level of diversification and a number of specialist sectors that we support. And we are pleased with the business here in the UK. And similarly, we are pleased with the performance of the South African business, both on the wealth management side and on the banking side, in particular, private clients.
Now, your credit losses have been going in the right direction. Do you worry about the overall deterioration in the macro environment?
We have to be concerned about the dark clouds that are on the horizon. We reported a very low credit loss ratio. We have, though, guided that there will be a level of normalization as we go forward. So we see that ticking up a little bit. The reason it is so low this time around, in addition to the asset quality that we have, is that we had recoveries in South Africa and we saw low impairments in both the UK and South Africa. But looking out a year and more, we do see that impairments will increase, although we do expect them to be moderate into the 25 to 35 credit loss ratio range in terms of basis points.
Now, we're obviously in a rate tightening environment. In fact, you may even get another rate increase in South Africa today. I mean, that is really, on the whole, pretty good news for lenders like you because it helps you widen your net interest margins.
Yes, it does. But I think the bigger impact in the long term is the impact on clients, the impact on consumers. And if rates remain high for a long period of time, you would expect that impact on consumers ultimately to impact businesses and to impact banks in the long term. But in the shorter term, you get better margins on your lending. You get better interest return on the capital that you hold with the central banks.
Now, talk to me about the South African economy for a moment, if you would, please. I mean, obviously, you're pretty unaffected by the war in Ukraine, but obviously commodity prices have moved. I mean, South Africa is a big exporter of platinum, of gold, of coal, all commodities that Russia can no longer sell to the outside world. But you're also a big importer in South Africa of oil. I just wonder, net, how does the economy respond to the Russia situation?
Look, the economy hasn't grown at a significant rate over a period of 10 years because there are a number of structural reforms that need to be implemented. We have been lucky over the last 12 months or so, even before the conflict in Ukraine, occasioned by the Russian invasion, that receipts of taxes from the corporate side, in particular mining companies, were so significant that we have begun to make a dent on the finances of the country. So we have been a net beneficiary, albeit that we do pay more for the oil that we import. We do have a level of reliance on that, but net, the economy has benefited and the finances of the country have improved, and clearly the country will be better for it.
And I mentioned coal just now. We should point out, of course, that as a bank, you've been reducing your exposure to the coal sector.
We are fundamentally committed to sustainability, both of the communities we operate in, of the environment, and we want to make a positive impact on our clients. So we have been reducing our support for coal in the UK. We have indicated that in the next 3 to 5 years, our exposure will drop to zero. In South Africa, we do support coal that goes into Eskom, which produces 95% of the electricity of the country. At the moment, we have unstable electricity supply. So from a social impact perspective, we obviously have to continue to support Eskom. But the overall trajectory of our investment is for sustainable investment and for sustainable lending and for reduction in emissions overall.
Now, the US dollar has been on a tear lately. Traditionally, that is not terribly good news for currencies like the rand. How worried are you about that?
Look, the rand has been particularly resilient over the last little while, partly as a consequence of what we spoke about, that commodity prices have been high. Second, we are a very deep and liquid market with what's happening in the emerging markets. For instance, the impact of Russia, the Russian invasion. South Africa is still regarded as a stable emerging market with deep liquidity, as I said. So there has been net some level of gain and stability. But as interest rates go up in the US, in the UK, that over time will place a little bit of pressure on the rand, as the carry trade will be less attractive, as it were. So we would expect in the medium term the rand to continue to weaken.
All right, Fanny, I know.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
World to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Your life coach, and whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
It's your man. Show them you got the coco set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
Hey, this is Archie, and you're listening to Starr.
Are you ready to turn it up?
Nothing between nothing and anything between nothing. Yeah. Come on. on now, guys. Come on. Are you ready? Oh yeah. I want to change it a little bit.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
The best radio show.
I see you.
Okay, and that is how I would say a massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. And those of you who have tuned in today on other planets watching us as well, we want to welcome you to the Thursday edition of the morning show. Today is the 19th day of May, the year 2022, with a time now exactly 10:38 from the hearts of London. And let me say good morning, and welcome,
My God gets to.
But a special good morning to my team. Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olaimi Koiki working behind the scenes today, Kojo D. And my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy as well. I want to say massive good morning to you all, gentlemen. Let me say morning to the one and only Felix all the way in Aberdeen. Mr. Kofi Abdul Yakin, massive good morning to you. My apologies, Mr. David Cloche. Dr. Morton, massive good morning to you all. Playing in the background, something from Denzel Premper. It says Noko Noko. There is nothing that my God can't do. With him all things are possible. In these times where things seems unsurmountable and very challenging. You rest assured of one thing. You have God. He will watch your back. And he will chart the path that is uncharted for you. But do me a massive favor, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Let me say good morning to our listeners in the USA, the McKeevers, I come for that Hivit, Mr. John Buama, and all the wonderful people there as well who listen to us in North and South America. Massive good morning to you, to our listeners in the UK, those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, those of you on the African continent, my lovely people in Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, South Africa, and Liberia. And hey, the Gambians, don't worry, we'll be seeing us pretty soon. But I want to welcome you all to the program. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. For those of you who is the first time of tuning in to listen or watch us, I am the one and only.
This is the morning show, Archie.
Okay, so we will be bringing you how the program is going to be rolled this morning, especially those of you who have never listened to us. It's the first time of maybe chancing or somebody sharing with you. Yes, I'm going to bring you the quote for the day. The weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates as well. We'll then move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. Then after that, exactly at 11 o'clock, I will bring you updates from Nigeria. As I did announce on Monday, this week, Mr. Olaimi Kweki is working behind the scenes, trying to bring us more stories that we are unearthing. So at 11 o'clock exactly, I'll be bringing you all that you need to know pertaining to Nigeria there, as per his instructions. Then we'll continue after that at exactly At 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to also add your voice to the discussions. Then 1 o'clock, we bring the curtains down. But I can promise you, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, if that story is making the headlines, why not? I promise you, we're going to touch on it. But before the lines are open, if you also want to share your comments with us, feel free, go to our Facebook page and then share it, post it there, and I promise you, I'm going to read it and I'm going to acknowledge you as well. Starr Radio UK. The best way to listen to us is via our apps. You go to your app store, whether it be Android or iOS. Just type in Starr Radio Global and it will pop up. Just download it for free. You can listen to us there, you can watch us there, you can share your comments or anything with us there as well. And then we are also transmitting live on TuneIn and all other social media platforms there. So stay tuned and enjoy the ride. If you're sitting down, sit very comfortably, get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is appropriate. If you are standing, my goodness, hold on to something for that time to get bumpy. But be rest assured of one thing, with Archie in the helm, everything is gonna be alright. Okay. It's now 10:43 from the House of London, so let me bring you the quote of the day. It says, our parents are responsible for bringing us into the world, but we are responsible for who we become. So don't go on always blaming your parents and those who have passed. And there's that song that I really love. It says every generation blames the one before. Well, make sure you don't blame the one before. They've done their bit, they are gone. What are you doing? What changes? If they made mistake, what have you learned from those mistakes? And how can you use it to impact your life positively? So that's by way of the quote for the day. I'm moving on straight to the weather front. We've had a mixture of weather. Yesterday it was a bit sunny, and then in the evening it became cloudy, and we had thunderstorms here in London and the southeast of England, and it went on and on and on. Until this morning, I woke up doing a production, and then it was sunny out there. The next moment, I went indoors, slept a bit, and there was rain. I'm like, okay, what is happening? Let me tell you exactly what is happening. Now, this afternoon, we'll see any showers and thicker cloud clear, leaving a fine and dry afternoon with plenty of sunny sunshine. My apologies, just the odd patch of cloud drifting in at times. Now this evening it will remain dry with prolonged clear spells. Overnight areas of cloud will push up from the south, becoming overcast for many by dawn, with the odd shower reaching in. Now when it comes to the temperature is going to be 22 degrees, the lowest is going to be 13 degrees. Pollen level is going to be low, UV level is going to be high, and pollution is going to be low as well. Sunset 2051 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 0503 hours. That brings us to the end of the weather forecast. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Don't you worry, you enjoy the rest of the song, but stay tuned whilst I bring you the travel update, and that will be after this quick commercial break.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you navigated. I promise I'll be on the Starr Radio travel update. I come to every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:46. What is going on your travels? You want to share with us? Feel free to do so. And I promise you one thing for sure. I will acknowledge you. Keep your eyes on the road. Okay, so for your travels this morning, if you are in the UK, especially you are in London, I can tell you assuredly on the underground this morning, there is good service throughout, no problems reported at all. Landing overground, TFL rail, DLR, landing traveling, good service. For sure, that means it's going to be a good day, isn't it? However, if you come to the major roads in London, there are a few incidents here and there. Let me bring that your way. A12, A2, A20, A316, A4 have all got closures. Also, Central London Red Routes closures there as well. But when it comes to A41, there are several delays, and therefore, if you can avoid them, do your best to avoid them. However, Star Radio UK is monitoring, and as and when we have any updates, we'll bring it to the fore as well. Now let's move on straight to the river bus. On the river bus as well, apart from the Woolwich Ferry that has got a special service, all the others have got good service. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads, and we'll keep you navigated. I promise, our bond. Now moving on to the final segment of the travel update, that is the major, my apologies, the National Rail. Yeah, the Northern Rail has got minor delays. South Western Railway and Southeastern have also got minor delays. That aside, all the others, good service. All right then. So let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK. It is now gone exactly 10:51, and it's now time for Global Trotting, all the stories that's making the rounds this morning across the globe. But let me bring you one interesting story from the UK front here before we move on. Well, the UK's biggest ever lottery winners, Joe and Jess Twait, who won £184 million jackpot on a lucky dip ticket, say they now have time to dream. Come on, dream on. They've made it. Well, I mean, let's you can send some listening and request to them. Maybe they'll be kind enough to maybe give you maybe 1 million or what? All right then. Well. So that's one of the stories that has made the round this morning. It's a breaking news. That's what I brought to you. I tell you all the time, if it's making the headlines, why not? I'm sure I'm going to be touching on it. But when it comes to stories making the rounds in Nigeria, money won't decide APC candidate, says Lagos State Senator. And then Electoral Act controversy. The Supreme Court joins River State in Buhari Malami's suit. That's one of the stories making the rounds there. And police rescue kidnapped victim, recovers arms, vehicles in Anambra. And then Nigeria's next 2023, Nigeria's next president deserves pity. Looking at the division in the country, the insecurity in the country, and the economic woes of the country, well, some of the analysts are saying that whoever it is that emerges out as the president deserves pity. Now, Kano adopts a panel report on KUST. We will be looking into that as well. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Some other stories will be following as well. Plateau APC governor aspirant withdraws from the race. And then electricity update. Energy supply in Nigeria rises to 87.785 megawatts per hour. Now, do you think that is enough for them? And if it's enough for them, can people even afford it now with the desperation that people are going through at the moment? Well, I'll be bringing you more on those fronts, so don't you go away. It is all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, moving on to some other stories making the rounds as well in other parts of the world, touching on Ghana as well. Contract for sale. Ejeni Mbuachen Eje allegedly withdraws all funds from frozen bank accounts. Interesting. Now, government should hold Achimota land and use the rest in broader national interest. However, some are saying it's a good move by government because maybe it's appeasing the family. Others are saying, well, the family was compensated in 1951 with 4,000 pounds at a time. So they've gotten, they've had their cake, they've eaten it, so they can't have it any longer. But the land is there. It's supposed to be a forest reserve, which we know that it's been encroached from some areas towards that. However, now government seems to have gone into some deals sort of and saying that they are releasing part of this land to the Owu family. And we have the Osu. Let me see, let me get a name. Well, the Osu Traditional Council are saying the Owu family are not the rightful owners of the Achimota forest. So if they are not, who is or are the owners, the rightful owners of that? We'll be looking at that, especially now that we are looking at global warming. We are looking at Galamsey, land degradation, forest degradation, and everything that's going on. Do you think it's our time that this is the right time that we say, okay, let's release some of the lands to some people, so that, I mean, planting for trees for whatever that they were doing? How many have we actually done? And the other time I had some statistics saying that, well, majority, about 80% or 70% thereabout has actually been able to survive, okay, which is good. But are we doing enough? Are they going to just plow the whole thing down and just build some, put up some residential or whatever edifice there, and then what do we do to our environment? Well, we'll be looking at all that. You think it's the right move? Some of the view that, well, government should own all the lands, and as and when there is a need, can release some of them for various purposes. But before government came into being, there were the families or the traditional areas. What do you think about all that? I will bring you more on that front. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 4 minutes to the top of the hour. Now, moving on straight to some other parts of Africa as well. Niger's president says Mali's withdrawal marks death of G5 Sahel Alliance. Why is he saying so? They had this G5 Sahel Alliance where they were all trying to fight together to combat the insecurity in that area. However, Mali, with its stance and with what do you call them, the coup d'etat that took place, and the fact that they think that France has a hand and is trying to do all sorts. They didn't say it that way, but they said a Western country who were hatching a plot to overthrow the government there as well. That failed. They are saying that, well, we don't want to be part of this G5 Sahel alliance any longer. And the Niger president is saying that, well, if Mali has decided to walk out of it, that means that the whole thing has no hope now and we need to forget about it. But what do you think? Burkina Faso, hopes fade for trapped miners. Well, as days goes on and hours and minutes and seconds, well, hope seems to be lost. But I'll be bringing you more on that front in the next few moments. But stay tuned, don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, in other parts of the world, calls to bring benefit and pension rises forward. Now, big increases are due next April, but charities say soaring prices mean people need the money like what? Now. Okay, MNS warns online sale tax will damage high street. Now, Marks and Spencer says extra tax for online shops will mean lower investment in high street stores. How does that actually make sense there? We'll bring you more on that front. So do you want to now decide, I'm not going to go but do any online shopping, I'm just going to be going to the high street to get it, or what? Or maybe we now have to be recycling whatever we got for the next 5 years. What about people who cannot do that? There are people who want to be buying every day and every hour. That's what they want to be doing. What about that? Well, we'll be bringing you a lot more from that front. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Canada's indigenous leaders ask for royal apology. Now, Prince Charles and Camilla visit to Canada for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee will end on Thursday. But they are asking for an apology from the royals for what was meted out to the indigenous people in Canada. This and a lot more going to be coming your way. Don't you go away. Now, looking at some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. That's where Russia says 900 Mariupol defenders have been sent to prison camp. Now, Ukraine has not publicly commented on the fate of the fighters who left Mariupol. Still works. However, they're trying to see whether there could be a prisoner swap there. Not sure what is going to happen there, but it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Now, Ukraine war could cause global food crisis. That's what the UN is warning. Of course, we know that they produce a bigger percentage of the wheat that is used or eaten across the globe. So, is that what it's talking about? And then Russia soldier pleads guilty in war crimes trial. The 21-year-old admits killing an unarmed civilian in Ukraine's first war crime trial since war began. And then in the U.S., George W. Bush's speech gave over Iraq invasion. The former U.S. president corrected himself after saying Putin had invaded Iraq rather than Ukraine. You know, he likes Ukraine. He likes Iraq, so he said, Putin has invaded Iraq. I mean, when he sleeps and he wakes up, he only thinks about Iraq. Now, what about that? Well, more coming your way. Now, breaking story as well. And a police investigation into lockdown parties in Downing Street and Whitehall ends with 126 fines issued in total. Okay, so are we going to have the Sue Gray report coming in so we can see whether the Prime Minister's position becomes untenable or what? This and a lot more is going to be coming your way. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. It's going to be a very, very happy day here. Stay tuned. Enjoy this song by Cece Bedu, and it says A Promise. Enjoy it, and I'll be with you. Stay tuned.
Can I see you snap like this, everybody? Come on.
phone.
All around the world.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Sometimes it's hard. The journey is lonely. Tears at night. My friends become my enemies. But you said, Samina no sumupa. Will come home. Will come home. Sometimes it's hard. The journey is lonely. Tears at night. My friends become my enemies. But you said, Samina me sumupa. Will come home. Will come home. My children for the world. Be running about my phone. Sometimes it's hard. The journey is lonely. Tears at night. My friends become my enemies. But you said, Samina Ochemupa. Oh, come home. Oh, come home. Sometimes it's hard. The journey feels lonely. Tears at night. My friends become my enemies. But you said, Samina Ochemupa. Oh, come home. Oh, come home. My children for me running about the phone. Mountain in the Hollywood. When they me potentin. Lord, you said you never leave me, never forsake me. I believe. And what you say is what you do. You're the God of yesterday, today and evermore. Lord, you said you never leave.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now exactly to 11 minutes past the top of the hour, and it is the Thursday edition of the morning show. I've got with me as well Mr. Frank Davis, who is also in the house. And we will be looking at the stories that is making the rounds. But I will bring you updates from Nigeria whilst we get Mr. Frank Davis ready to come on. But wherever you are, stay tuned. Let me bring you a quick announcement, and then we continue with the updates from Nigeria. The first announcement. Yes, Pastor Annette Hercules of the Woman to Woman Ministry wants to invite every one of you for a free admission to a program that will be hosted on Saturday at the Fulham United Reformed Church, 472 to 480 Fulham Palace Road, London. The postcode will be SW6 6 6HY. SW6 6HY. Okay, the time is exactly 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. The day again, Saturday, the 21st of May, 2022. The guest speaker is Ray French. Ray French. Make your way there. Invite your family and friends and colleagues. He says when you come in, there's going to be a donation of £5. Okay, £5. You know, now with everything that is going on, £5 doesn't go far.
I don't think. I hope it's not going to Ukraine.
You don't want to give anything for Ukraine or what?
No, I mean, I think they've had more than enough. I mean, they had more than enough. Others are suffering, you know. You know, so I hope it's not going to Ukraine. So the way she declared a £5 donation, I hope it's not Ukraine.
Okay. Well, listeners, Mr. Frank Davis, for you, let me just try to line him all up again whilst we bring you his picture once again. But Frank, how are you?
I'm good, Archie. I'm good. Yeah, better today than I was on Monday. What can we say?
We thank God for that. We thank God for that. Okay, listeners, it's now time for us to bring you updates from Nigeria. As I said last Monday, I said Mr. Olaimi Koiki is working behind the scenes trying to get some story that is making the rounds, and therefore once we have him, we'll be bringing him, God willing, on Monday to you. But for now, let's go to what is happening in Nigeria. A quick one from there. If you have any comments you want to post, feel free to do so, and I promise you, we will acknowledge you and read it out as well. But exactly at 12 o'clock, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions. So if you want to speak, you are so eager to speak, then just hold on, get to that time, and you will be able to do so. A quarter past 11 the time, the morning show, and it is Archie and Frank here once again. Now, okay, let's move on straight to some of the story that is making the rounds in Nigeria. A quick one. Money won't decide APC candidates, says Lagos senator. Interestingly, when it comes to African politics, when people say those things, I sit back and I laugh because maybe in the public domain they won't do anything for you to see that they are dishing money out. However, if you go into the background, you go to places where they are meeting, the various moves that is being done there behind the scenes. Yeah. I tell you, it's mind blowing. But well, they are saying that that's not what is going to happen this time around. So we hope to see what is going to happen. But let me bring you a bit of details of that story. The Lagos West Senator Olamelekan Adeola, I think his guy name is Yayi, has said that money will not be a determining factor for the emergence of all the All Progressive Congress APC candidate as the party prepares for its primaries. Now, Adeola noted that the party's delegates and the aspirants' robust agenda program and manifesto will determine the eventual winners at the primaries and not the amount of money spent to canvass for votes. But let me just leave it there and go straight to Frank. Now, when has African politics be void of money?
Actually, I think even the person is contradictory himself. In the first place, does he think that what they've done by setting a form at 100 million is actually inclusive enough? Does he think that, or is he not thinking, does he think that if they've lowered the figure, let's say 5 million, we could have more people what they call participating? Someone say, well, more people will be participating, that will lengthen the process, that will not, even people who are not qualified to be. But what we've just said is that if you do not have 100 million,
you cannot be,
and you do not have people who can back you with 100 million, then you cannot become a presidential material in our party. That's basically what I said. So basically, it is for sale. Someone argue, yes, it's politics, we need money, and therefore those who want to lead that must demonstrate that they have enough resources to be able to help prosecute the party's agenda. I agree with that. But when you're saying, unless, I mean, the anger is trying to come from, say, oh, money will not be used to buy votes and other things. I mean, we know that's exactly what
it's going to be.
I mean, that's a culture. That's what they do. At the end of the day, you keep the people poor during the time like such as this. You come in Ghana as we speak.
Yeah.
You see Komladu for going around say what they call it, Kojo.
Yeah, recruiting, recruiting of members of
by, I mean, powerful concept by speakers, sound systems, and chairs for community so that they can rent out and generate some money. It's fine. But I ask myself, you've been a minister, you've been a Bank of God, I mean governor, you've been part of the system. Where were these ideas?
Maybe that time his brains or his mind was blocked. Now he can see.
He can see clearly. He couldn't see before. When you vote for him, that's where you see that his brains cannot work again. Then you know Akufo-Addo's vision.
you know. Interestingly, when he we had the former president Obasanjo saying that now the youth will have to get themselves into the politics, and so that the older ones can get out of it. But if you look at, the amount of money that they are charging for you to even just get your form. The campaign has not started yet. Now, this youth would not have that amount of money, and that means they're going to have those people who are giving that money controlling them.
I agree with him 100% that the youth should enter politics. How do the youth enter politics? The youth should enter politics because they have godfathers, godmothers. All the youth that are actively involved in politics, is it that they started agitating themselves, causing trouble, and therefore are roped in, or they are children and godchildren of what they call
the godfathers?
As we speak today, if you go, let me give a class. If you go to somewhere, let's take Bossman, good morning. If you go to Eastern Region, for instance, all those are Chima Buakwa area and all the Eastern Region, and you want to be an MPP candidate, you have to pay homage to Hakmu Uswaju.
Really?
Yeah, if you don't do that, you can't win.
Really?
Yes, that is it. If you do not go to see Hakman, you're never going to win.
Wow.
You're never going to win. So at the end of the day, you need to pay homage to him. You need to agree to certain terms before you can be given the nod. If not, you can do whatever you want. If you are the MPP primaries, you can't win. Not if you are a chairman of the party. Talk less of it being what you call it. And we do have them everywhere. We do have them. Look, and NDC. Akwesi Ajima Kumasi.
Yeah.
And then Idrisu, what do you call it? Betimo Idrisu's husband.
Yeah.
If you don't go to see them, you hardly will go to this thing. That used to be the case. Now there are some radicals that are changing it.
Yeah.
So you see, the party system, we want to get the youth involved. Are you allowing them? Are you giving them a free hand? Yeah, we agree that people should be trained, people should be mentored. But are we being mentored to be able to repeat the same mistakes that have not brought us anywhere or have landed us where we are today? Or, we are being given encouraged that, look, you have potentials, you have ability, you are being taught or mentored how to find yourself in the decision-making process, why you should be in the decision-making process, why you should participate in that space, rather than let me put you there so that you be shady.
I just remember a couple of weeks ago when we had the local election here. Now our own Vicky, who was one.
Interestingly, Vicky was Vicky has just called me, but Vicky, we're just talking about you on air. Vicky has just called, so Vicky, I'll call you back after.
Yes, Vicky, good morning to you.
Let's message us. Okay. Thank you.
She went in there. She didn't need Keir Starmer's blessing. No, whoever. She thought, okay, this is what I want to do. Maybe she'd be involving herself in the grassroots thing, campaigning for Labour. So when she puts her heart in there, people will say, okay, she's one of us. So let's do something. But here, back home, we don't see something like that. So we're always going to be having those top. They call it cream de la cream, who will always be there milking and siphoning everything from us. So
one of the guys that contested for to be a candidate, I was sorry she lost. At 12, the people are free. In fact, I was sorry for 3 people who lost. One was Vicky, one was Alan, and one was Jessica. Now, if you look at Alan is a 19-year-old boy with a bit of autistic problem.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Had a bit of learning difficulties and other things. Archie, when you engage this guy, he knows exactly what you want to advocate for the people like him.
Wow.
His community. He's determined.
Yeah.
This is his first attempt. He lost by 200 votes.
Oh wow.
A 19-year-old boy. Jessica was in the studio here for Warden. She also lost, I think, by 3 votes or something like that.
Oh gosh.
And Jessica again has learning disabilities, learning difficulties. I feel so sorry for the 3 of them for losing. Why? Because they've identified that, look, we can't sit back and expect people to do it for us.
Yeah.
You recall what they call it? There's this girl who has just won more like a battle, has campaigned for some laws to be changed about
the Down syndrome. The Down syndrome one. Yeah.
They didn't just sit back.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, there's no one overlooking them and say, okay, now that you've won your case, whatever windfall comes with it, I have a percentage. That's exactly what. Look, Shacross, who was contesting to be the mayoral candidate, who was to be the mayor of what they call it, Credding. Sarah Jones, we went out knocking several times with Sarah Jones. I did not have see any sign that Sarah Jones was trying to tell Alan JC that, oh, I have chosen you. In fact, Sarah Jones, who is the MP, did not have any hand in determining who should even. No. I mean, people expressed interest. They were given a free hand to compete. A panel judged them and then decided this person fit the criteria. Ours.
That's my worry. And then when we call for where people should rise up, I'm not calling for coup d'etat, but if I've called for that, you better come here, come and get me. Catch me if you can. But I mean, when we have, because you are looking at the thing, and the masses who are suffering daily are looking at what those up there are doing and pulling their own up there, and they think, till when can this?
So that's why it's important that actually we all need to get involved in one way or the other. The problems as we do have it, I keep on saying, if we do not change the way we think, we do not change the way we do things, we will talk until thy kingdom come. Nothing is going to change. We need to start renewing our mindset. We need to start doing things differently. I mean, if you look at this Ukraine war issue, everybody is using this. It's just like a template. Everybody who don't know it's because of Ukraine and COVID war. It's because of as if, look, when our countries were being created, did they tell us that the biblical days of Joseph abandoned was Ukraine named to be the food house of the world?
That is the Egypt.
Was Russia? Is Russia and Ukraine the food house that hunger is coming, war is coming, and therefore Ukraine should be our basket? Why should Ukraine? Let's assume Ukraine has sunk today. Let's assume
Ukraine is disaster and everything is
gone. Forget about the war. What would have happened? Egypt would have gone.
We would have gone hungry, proper. Well, listen,
let's change our mind, actually.
It is Starr Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria. We have a couple of stories that we're going to bring your way. The Supreme Court on Thursday okayed an application that the Rivers State filed to be joined as a party in the suit. President Muhammadu Buhari and the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice filed to void Section 84, Subsection 12 of the Electoral Act 2022. A 7-man panel of the justices of the Apex Court, led by Justice Musa Datijo, allowed the joinder application that Rivers State brought through the Speaker of its House of Assembly and its Attorney General, even as if it shifted hearing, on the suit to May the 26th. The applicants told the court that they were opposed to the suit backed or marked SCCV 504 2022, which originally had the National Assembly as the sole respondent. Now we will follow that story because it's all pertaining to the Electoral Act controversy in the River State. Let's see what will happen. But the question is, do you think the 2023 election in Nigeria is going to be taking place at all? That is the question that people seem to be asking. Let's move on to one other story making the rounds in Nigeria as well. Now, Kano State Executive Council has adopted the white paper report of the visitation panel of the Kano State University of Science and Technology. With the part of the adoption include the constitution of an interagency investigative panel to look into the issue of non-remitted pension contribution of staff in the institution. Now, you're looking at in Africa again, because it's not only peculiar to Nigeria. We see it in Ghana, where before somebody, a pensioner, can get their hands on that tuppence that is being given to them, their hopes that they have to jump through.
Actually, again, you see, and that's where fresh thinking comes in. We hear people talk about what they call now technologies with us, and therefore we can use a bit of to make things easy for them. We're talking about mobile money, which can be a very nice way of actually paying these people. Was it last year or last 2 years that we saw a vivid video from Kofridria where a pensioner, when the SNH people were calling for re-registration, how to go and wait as a disabled person, how to struggle, get people waited outside until we do not have any plan for disabled. As we speak now, if you take Ghana for instance, we do have a disabled act that actually, in fact, the government buildings compulsory must have, but we do not have them. So actually, it all calls for thinking. But how are we going to think if we do not change our political system? Because that's where the decisions are made. Why should a pensioner go through the hell? They've suffered so much, they've given a law. Yes, in this country we still do have problems with the pension fund, complaining at that, but with the level or the scale of problems that we do have, it's not the same thing that we're talking about over there. Now, if you look at Africa, take it Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, wherever, we increasingly are actually destroying our social network as well. The able are leaving the villages back to the urban areas, right? And if that the trend that is continuing means that in the villages you go, more and more aged people, that's where they go to. Even those who come to the urban areas, when it gets to a point, especially if they don't have their own properties,
they'll have to go to the village.
They have to go to the village because they cannot afford to rent again in those villages. So what you see in the village is more of the aged population, and that's when we have even bad facilities, and that's why if you do a live what do you call it, life expectancy trends, you always will find out that the more deprived the area is, the more the earlier the people die. Yes, people will tell urban risks of pollution and other things, but on average you get quality, a bit of reasonable good water. You are able to get a little bit of light, medical storage of food, and there are a few things that actually puts you a little bit ahead of someone. If you talk of those of us in this country and compared to developing countries, actually, it is not about the money. No. It is not about the money that is keeping a lot of people here. One, Kofi Ali will tell you when he comes here, there's no mosquito. He told you when he went there the other time, he was beaten by mosquitoes and he fled. So even mosquitoes are chasing him out of his own, because we've not come to a point where even we can tame mosquitoes. We cannot. No. Mosquitoes continue to kill us. We cannot tame mosquitoes. We can get good water. When you are sick, you know you can walk into a GP. You do not have to go and queue for what do you call it, hours. And if you don't have money, you die. Are you getting me? So actually, it's all about changing. We need to come to a point where we begin to change our minds and begin to know that money is not everything. Because I do believe money is becoming an agent for evil. Those of us who take over are also being influenced by these elderly people, and therefore the decisions we take for them. And those who take those decisions, when they go on pension, they don't rely on their pension system. They've
got lots. I mean, they've siphoned all those money. So,
but that's the story of Africa.
Well, Zongoman says the problem of Africa is the greed. Okay, Nnamdi Kanu, economic activity shut down in Imo State. We had the one of the governors in the east who went to visit him in prison. Okay, but economic activities in Owerri and its environs were shut down yesterday over the sit-at-home order issued by the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, following the appearance of their detained leader Nnamdi Kanu in the Federal High Court in Abuja. The reports coming in was that Owerri, that the streets of the state capital, were all deserted. At the time of filing the report, banks, shops, and markets were all shut down. The transportation companies and schools closed for business, and the major streets of Owerri were empty. Now, some residents who spoke to some reporters said they had earlier gone to the market last Tuesday to buy the foodstuff that they would use on the day of the set at home, which was yesterday. Teachers and across board. Now we're seeing that what is happening, the stance by the IPOB is causing economic pressure, putting economic pressure on those states. Okay. But this is a case where the leaders of those states have gone to see the president, and when the president visited that part of Nigeria as well, I think sometime last week or a couple of weeks ago, met them again. So I was looking at it and saying that, well, their demand was that release him. So why can't that person be released, and then we can just quickly just move on, and then we can have the economic activities maybe restored?
Archie, IPOP issue is a very, very delicate one. I think, in my view, and even the way he was arrested, I think they can if the government wants, I think the best option would be to put him under house arrest for now. I mean, put him under house arrest with a bit of security corridor around him, and allow him to still engage his people a little bit. Now, see, the government thinking is trying to use force, punishment, intimidation to scare the people to abandon Nnamdi Kanu. That is not working. People have seen the people have seen that is what the government wants to do, but it has again energized them, and you see their resolve. Yesterday, for instance, or a few days ago, we heard that Lai Mohammed had met Facebook and was saying that Facebook should block and stop and take down the accounts of what do you call it, IPOB people, that they are terrorists, they are causing harm, they basically terrorizing the Nigerians. I don't know if they can publish and tell us how effective was the Twitter ban, because we know there was a time the whole Nigerian youth or Twitter was taken down because they think they were using it. It didn't work. It didn't work. Now you're going to tell Facebook to go and
take down the accounts.
Thank God, they think they are doing things in Ghana, they are twins in Africa, and no one is watching. Open Society has come out. The Open Society of USA has come out to condemn such a move, and Facebook is not going to do that. Okay. You look at Ghana, what is happening. 3 days ago, the convener of was arrested on his way to court. On his way to court, and in attempt to get a court to grant a bench warrant for his arrest because they will say he failed to appear because he's on bail. And that was all engineered that when you arrest him, you will not show up in court. It will be contempt of court. So basically, bench warrant can be issued, and then you deprive him of bail when he comes applying for bail again, because you can say that you jump bail and you fail to, and that was the whole plan. There was a whole plan that you see, but you see, the more they keep on doing some of these things, they want to use heavy-handedness to deal with this, the more outside world is looking at them. Look, this Fix the Country people have been given even 50,000 by Open Society from the US. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, they've granted them a grant of 50,000 to continue the activities. $50,000. $50,000. What do you think is happening? It means the world is watching. The world is watching what is happening. There was this ambassador, was it Danish ambassador, who has also commented that she's waiting eagerly to see what will become of the trial of the guy.
Oh, I see.
Cambridge had the opportunity. The issue of these guys' arrest has been a subject that BBC has even discussed.
Yeah.
So if Buhari thinks that, or those over there think that they're going to use force to win their way out, it's not going to work. Look, you've met these guys. There have been calls even from certain northern leaders that release him for now.
Yeah.
Release him for now. You're gonna do that. At least put him under house arrest. Put him under house arrest. You cannot have someone going to court coming with the same dress. People think he's been maltreated. And you cannot even explain how you got him back into the country.
No, that one they don't want to talk about that. They use magic. There's a country where we can get a snake swallowing or money is millions of it. So
actually, the only unfortunate thing is that in all this is the local business people who are suffering, because at the end of the day, you boycott economic activity affects them as well. But with time they will adjust to it.
Yeah.
With time they will adjust to it.
Yeah. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. I think we bring in the updates from Nigeria to a close, but let me run it up with this story. Frank did touch on it, where we had what do you call him, Laya Muhammad approaching Facebook to put IPOP. But the Nigerian government has said it currently has no plan to ban Facebook in the country. This comes after their government asked Facebook and other social media platforms to stop allowing the pro-Biafra separatists, the IPOP, to operate on the social media platform. While receiving a team from Facebook in Abuja on Monday, Information Minister Laya Muhammad said since IPOP had been proscribed and classified as a terrorist organization by the government, Facebook has no justification by yielding its platform to the organization. Speaking with journalists after the weekly meeting of the Federal Executive Council, the minister said its meeting with Facebook was robust and promising. What will Facebook do about that? We'll be following very closely.
Call it noise. La Mohammed was making noise. Call it that way.
Okay, listeners, that is where we bring the update from Nigeria to a close. We'll take a quick break, and once we come back, we'll be looking at some of the other stories making the rounds across the globe. Now, interestingly, in Ghana, well, we know that now we're looking at reef for afforestation, and then with everything that is going on, climate change and everything. Even when it came to Glasgow 2021, Ghana was part. We sent a very large delegation to that particular conference as well. However, the president or the government of Ghana has decided that they're going to give about 40% of the forest to the family. However, there have been some differences. The former forest minister is saying that, well, this is not the amount of land that we decided to give, or the quantity of land that we decided to give to the family. Others are saying that no, it's okay, the figures are not tallying up. Now, what exactly is going on? It is a ploy that, being the only catchment area in Accra at the moment, where if people get their hands on it, the edifices that are going to be put in there and the prices that is going to be coming up there, are they trying to cook something for themselves? Are they dished out airport lands to some people? Is that what they're trying to do? We'll be coming to you on those ones and a lot more. Stay tuned, don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'll bring the time now to 11:45. With me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis. I'm Archie, and we are looking at some of the stories making the rounds now in other parts of the world. But starting from Ghana, Ghana, my happy home. That my sister said, if you dare go teach somebody that song, a parent here that you are teaching their child that song, I think they will slap your face. Well, why? Because he's looking at leadership of the country and the fact that he thinks that they've actually failed Ghanaians as a whole. But now let's look at the first story that I did touch on before we went on the break. Now, Frank, first of all, let's look at the world as a whole. Let's look at our environment and looking at the degradation that is going on. Last week, was it last weekend? Yes, there was a torrential rainfall in Accra, and there were serious floods. Government had paid about 100 million Ghana cedis to a contractor to clear the Odo River. Yet we had this problem. Okay, so the only thing that we should be looking at is now our forests. When it comes to tree planting and stuff like that, how much have we actually done? Are we, the trees that we are cutting down, are we actually replacing them at all? We knew that the Achimanton forest was one place where at least you go, and apart from researches that goes on, we know that it gives a bit of oxygen in that particular area. But what are we seeing as a whole there?
Actually, let's put this in perspective. Let's say that today, as we speak, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, is actually the Deputy Chair for sustainable development on environment.
Okay.
And if you look at those goals that were set up, goal number 13 actually says that they will actively protect the environment. I'm paraphrasing, and they aim to achieve that by 2030. You recall last year there was a program in Glasgow, environmental program. Akufo-Addo led a contingent close to 100 to attend that meeting. I think we made mention of that. So if anything at all, someone who is actually a deputy chair who spoke big English at that event, you will expect that actions, even if predecessors have done things that were not right at all, he should be setting an example and doing something to showcase that yes, in my backyard I am doing something good.
Yeah.
Let's also remind ourselves that our president went to South Africa and told us that Rivan Cobra has been restored, and that turned out to be lying. We also know that Atiwa Forest, which can boast of over 700 species, some endangered, and some monkeys that are not found anywhere in the world are in Atiwa Forest. We know that the president has given a go-ahead for that Atiwa Forest, what do you call it, to be mined by a Chinese conglomerate. So the record on environment is not good. Now, when we come to what is happening, I wouldn't blame Akufo-Addo and NPP this government alone, but they are manipulating the story, and whatever they are telling us, 80% of it is false. Achimota Forest was actually acquired by executive instrument in 1930s, and the aim of that was to actually have a green buffer zone between Accra and where education hub was supposed to be, which is the Achimota school. And if traditionally, if you look at schools that were established in all those days, you always see that there's a green buffer zone around the school. So that stretch of land was acquired. Over 400 and something hectares of land was acquired. Now, about 90 years down the line, now it was acquired to be used partly as a green buffer zone, also to be used as a research center for Achimota schools, people, for researchers who go to study plants and other things. It was used, and again for to have species that were in the coastal zones that settlements were going to destroy. They will find a place to be able to run into that. I mean, researchers, so that we don't get them mistake. So those were part of the reasons why Achimota they say. Now here come 2006 when President Kufuor was in power. In fact, let's put also on record that documentary evidence suggests that a £4,000 was paid as compensation to the family. Now, so it is worth to know that in 2006, the government then were approached by a Wu family, who then told the government that they needed part of the land that is not being used for their own personal use. And the normal circumstances should not be granted, because at the end of the day, it had been paid for anyway. It wasn't like it was acquired and given to them for free. So an agreement that was dated the 28th of November 2008 they came to an agreement after negotiating, and it was agreed that the peripheries of the Achimota Forest, which comprise of about 90 acres, will be leased. They are not giving that, will be leased to them. Will be leased back to the family for 99 years. This was because the pre-acquisition owners had not been paid the necessary compensation by the government. So they said, okay, the money you gave us was not enough at that time. So yes, we can give you 90 acres of the land for 99 years, and from there it reverts back to the government, because the government now becomes the owner of that. Now, if you look at even the release that has started all this information is actually captured in the 7th paragraph of that, the minister caveat that has sparked all this. The document that came out on the 7th, this information is contained. Now, these peripheral portions of the Achimota Forest Reserve land was released in 2013 to the family, because Kufuor's government could not release the land to the family. They reached an agreement. It was signed on the 28th of November 2008, but the lands were not actually given to them. So come 2013, under Mahama, they then completed the process of releasing the 90 acres of land back to the family. So from Kufuor's time, travel all the way from almost 9 years of negotiating to the family. Now, throughout this process, the classification of Achimota forest was never tampered with. Because there's a difference between, you see, in this country, you have green belt, green zones, or brown belt. The moment the classification, when it comes to town and country planning, the classification determines the use to which those lands can be put to. That is why sometimes they tell you around the coastal zones, there are wetlands that you cannot do certain activities of wetland. The moment you disclassify those wetlands and turn them into a different terminology, you then have instructively told people that the purpose to which these lands can be put to has changed. So all this process that took place from 2006 to 2013, there was nothing like, classification of Achimota forest being changed. It was never changed. Now, they never tempered. The least that were granted again was only up to 90 acres to the whole family, no more than that. Now, the agreement entered into between government of Ghana in 2016 and Akan Capital for the development of like hikings, ecotourism, and even that only the peripheral certain areas not the core area were supposed to. It's also instructive to know that when Jubilee House was to be built, you know, at what they call it, the Flagstaff House, there used to be a forest. Over there, there used to be a forest.
I've been there because I was at GBC, so I remember that place.
Between the GBC clubhouse, leading to GBC, getting to military, the 37 military hospital, and the staff quarters. There used to be a forest, kind of a forest. Now that forest housed a museum. A museum which contained, that's why some people were saying, oh, if when Nkrumah killed people, that's why
he was burying them.
The lions and other Kankanyami and all those lies and all those kind of crazy stuff. Now, when Jubilee House was to be built, all those animals that were housed over there.
The zoo. So is the zoo still across?
No, the zoo was then relocated into the Achimota forest. So part of the Achimota forest
now the Accra Zoo.
Now hosts that Accra Zoo. Right, so a lot of animals from pythons and other things are now located in that Achimota forest. Now, what happened on the 17th is this statement from the minister that is now saying that over 300 acres of land are to be released. In fact, to precise, 361 acres of Achimota forest are to be released to a family. Archie, what the government has failed to do is to tell us how come that the number has jumped from 90 acres of land to 361. Two, how come that they've now gone ahead to declassify or now change the terminology? Because if you are releasing land to someone, what is changing or how you decimate a forest reserve? What has that got to do with it? Why is the change of the planning terminologies for Achimota forest? Why do you change it? Actually, this should not be a miracle to anyone. Look, during Jacob Ichebi Lamte's era, Kufuor's regime, and I can't say without missing my word that all these family issues are engineered by the big men.
Of course. Of course.
We were told under the policy of urban redevelopment and country regeneration policy, we were going to see a lot of designs, a lot of lands being changed, the use of those lands will be changed. What did we see? They used that policy, acquired all airport lands, and then allotted it to themselves. When you go to rich area, where Jake House is part of those lands. Now they've used those lands, they've used those laws to acquire that land. Now he has passed on that law to his generation, his children. When the issue went to court, we were told, or the court said, all these autonomous bodies, land commission and other things, have been given power by the constitution to determine what they can use or how to allot and they use to which government lands to be put. And therefore, the Supreme Court at that time told us that they have no jurisdiction to determine what should be done with those lands. That's what the judiciary told us. Okay, that's what they told the Pope of Ghana. Actually, what we are witnessing, without wasting time, is an attempt by the powerful men and women of the society to grab those lands, because all these lands that they are giving to the family, 80% of them will end up with the same people who granted those permissions. Because that's the exact thing that they did with the airport lands. As we speak today, but for the late Professor Mills, when we have opposite Shashi getting close to Emmanuel Eye Clinic, you recall that when was in 2019 2029 2009.
Okay,
2009. I think 2009, when we had our the foreign office building bent down. That was the building that was close to Diamond House by Tudu, Accra Station, right? Now, Professor Atamo decided that, look, we'll relocate to the former Golf House area. Because at that time, the Chief Justice at that time, those who were part of the panel that determined that they could not speak for Ghanaians, and therefore, what do you call it, the Land Commission, whatever,
can do whatever they want.
Had the land over there.
Oh, okay.
George Nawood was given the land over there. When we have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs building today, the new Institute of Journalism school, all those lands, they have to forcibly acquire them back from MP functionaries that have taken land.
Oh, I see.
All those lands were distributed like cake that you distribute at the birthday party.
You talk about that a lot. That Kufuor, after when Kufuor was about to go out, they
distributed those lands as cake and toffees, what do you call it, sweets to themselves. Actually, that's exactly what they did.
Gosh.
That's exactly what they did, and everything that they are doing with this policy will end up the same
way.
Will end up the same way.
Interesting.
Why are they inflict? I ask myself, why are the political class inflicting this pain on the future generation? Even if we have failed ourselves, should we compromise the future? And is it not shameful that only last year we were told that the government spent 12 million Ghana cedis planting trees? This year, they budgeting, they're going to plant about 20. They're going to spend about 20 million. They're going to. I asked myself, but they've not provided evidence of the trees that were planted and whether they've survived.
They were saying the other time that about 80% of them managed to grow.
Okay.
So
actually,
we lost about
may I
20%.
remind ourselves and our listeners that when JIDA was in place, they planted trees.
Yeah, they did.
The success story was about 75 to 80%. The current minister in charge of environment and natural resources was criticizing that as poor. Was criticizing it.
My God.
Here is the case. They cannot give us a report about how the trees they come. The president, when during the State of the Nation, and what did he do? He said we planted some trees and some have survived. As to they couldn't go specific, but 12 million choppable money of Ghana money, Ghana cedis have gone. Actually, for me, you see, it is not about NDC, it's not about MPP. The political class now need to be confronted.
Yeah, and that's what I say all the time. That because if we want to use constitution to do it, it's not going to happen. They know it's going to be working against them. But we've got Felix who has joined us, and let me announce the lines open. If you want to also join in to make your case or say whatever you want to say pertaining to other stories that we're looking at, feel free to do so. But let me say, Felix, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon or good day.
Yeah, how are you doing, sir?
I'm plodding on. How are you doing yourself?
Plodding on, brother. Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah. What do you want to say, sir?
Well, a few years ago, not a few years ago, maybe shall we say less than 2 years ago, somebody described some countries in the world as shithole countries, yeah? And we got offended. Right, okay. But if you have, I don't want to use foul language here, but if you have, excuse my language, idiots, or people who have chosen idiocy as a way of living, then you can do this sort of narratives to them. Look, there's something they call eminent domain. I don't know whether you've heard about that. It's used in America quite a lot, which is the power of the state or even local authorities to acquire private land for public use. So your house you live in, if for whatever the reason is, your local authority or the government decides that they need that plot of land, or they even need your building, your house you live in, for a public good, the local authority or the government or the state has the power to acquire that land and give you appropriate compensation. Right? Now, if you go to most parts of Europe now, because of the awareness of the delicate nature of human existence and the environment, there are local authorities that are going around now and are now acquiring private property. In some cases, they are doing something that we call in Ghana, or many years we used to call afforestation.
Yeah.
Right? In some parts of the world, they are now doing something they call rewilding. In other words, you are trying to turn back places that a few years ago had been turned into human settlement, into something we now call rewilding. In other words, you are trying to bring back wildlife back into existence. Right, so you have parts of the world now where the local authorities, and in some cases in federal states are buying land and planting trees, and in some cases trying to reintroduce animals that had gone into extinct. So in parts of Europe, they are trying to reintroduce wolf back into settlements that used to have population of wolves, but they have now gone extinct. In fact, in Scotland now, there's a huge argument going on whether they should reintroduce wolf into parts of Scotland. Why are they doing this? They are doing this because everybody is trying to improve the delicate nature of the environment that we didn't know before 50 years ago, and we had compromised on in relation to, human development and so on and so forth. In Scotland, as we speak now, the approach of the Scottish government is that over the next few years, they want to improve the forest cover to about 25% of the population. Why are they doing this? They are doing this because as we speak today, 75% of Sweden is forest. Sweden as a country, cold Sweden, a country that 4 months of the year hardly sees any daylight at all. Forget about sunshine because it's winter. It's covered, 75% of Sweden is forest. And in fact, in countries like Norway, it's getting pretty much close to about 80%. So effectively, only 20% of the country is available for human existence and so on and so forth. And in fact, in some parts of Sweden, even a place like Stockholm, they have what they call inner city forests. They are now creating inner city forests. So any piece of land that does not have any purpose lined out for, just plant a tree over there and leave it for the future generation to decide whether they want to pull down the forest or keep it the way it is. What is your country doing? The only forest that is left in Accra, they want to take their grubby fingers on that land. The minister is telling us that it was a decision that he came to inherit. What decision have this government not overturned? Who says to them that that so-called Owu family should be given the land irrespective of whatever, if they think that their policy is to groom the country, then they should be able to compensate the Owu family without giving them the land. And in fact, what you would have thought of is that all these settlements that are creating flood situations in Accra, they should be moving with significant financial watches, acquire this land back and give that land back to the wild. In other words, You plant trees, you pull down the buildings, you plant trees, and if there's a natural drainage system, restore the natural drainage system. So I don't buy into this argument that there's some family that were any members of that family born out of their mother's womb with a piece of land in their hand. They came to inherit the land, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so you can take the land back for them and give them compensation. Of course, compensation, if somebody wants a piece of land to live on, giving the person money is not going to help. But the government still has enough land somewhere else, even in the past.
They can give to them in exchange.
Like if the family needs land, for accommodation, to provide them with that. Let's be honest, this is prime land. And these people don't give a hoot about anything. Remember, they supervise the destruction of most of our fertile lands under Galamsey.
Yeah.
As you know, most of the politicians are heavily involved in
Oh,
Galamsey.
yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
The sad thing is that a lot of these people won't be around in the next 20 years. I mean, this president, I don't want to...
Oh, no, he will definitely.
How many people live beyond 100 in the world? This president is almost 70 years or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Is he going to be around in the next 30 years?
He wouldn't.
And if you plant a tree today, that tree is not going to mature at least for the next 25 years. So why are they... I mean, you would have thought that the news that will be coming from this government, so that, we are involved in heavy negotiations with countries such as Kenya, such as South Africa, such as Malawi, such as Tanzania, so that we can buy some of the wildlife they have over there, the lions, the zebras, the hyenas, the impalas, all these animals that we don't have in our part of the world at the moment. So we can have an arrangement where they will supply us some of these animals, so we can introduce them into the Achimota
forest
reserve. And improve the quality of flora and fauna in that part of Accra. You would have thought that there would be a concerted approach to look for land, not only in Accra but in different parts of the country, to build huge reserves, huge forest reserves, including the north. Because if they can bring back fresh vegetation in the Middle East, as some of these countries are doing now, then it should not be a Herculean task for us to start having huge forest reserves in the northern part of Ghana, particularly the northern region, Upper West.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can do it in the desert region, I mean, because even though the rainfall pattern is not extensive, 3 months of rainfall with a bit of ingenuity should be enough for us to start building huge or planting huge forest reserves in some of these parts of the world, of our country. But these are people, they don't think they're going to die. They don't really care about the environment, and they just want to grab land. Because you can be rest assured that a plot of land is anywhere close to that Achimota Forest Reserve will not cost anything less than $500,000.
Yeah, I was looking at even 1 million. That's what I was thinking. I said,
that's what some
for
people
sure.
are saying. That's what some people. So even if you can get 100 plots, somebody will be working out.
Yeah.
With about $100 million or not something more than that. Look, I leave it at that. I prefer to listen to it. It is annoying. It is extremely annoying. But I don't blame them. I blame the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs. They should be standing up and making a huge statement to the government that if you want to go ahead and sell the land. And whatever we have to do to take out individuals who own this land, we will do it.
Wow.
Yes, because sometimes that's the only... You see, there's a reason why historically in Latin America the issue about land has become thorny. Because after many years of indigenous communities sitting down and doing nothing and their land's been taken away, what have they done? That is the reason why you had the FARC war in Colombia.
Yeah.
Because it got to a stage where the indigenous community said that we've had enough. We're not going to deal with legislation and corrupt judicial system and all the rest of it. You take our land, we'll take you on. We survive, fine. You survive, that's fine.
Yeah.
But, I'm not advocating for violence, but when it comes to a certain stage, it's a question of do live or let's die, or do or die, as they call it in Ghana.
Yeah.
We live or we die.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. But you see, I don't blame them. Once again, I blame the corrupt chiefs. Because if the chiefs in the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs have issued the government a warning, just get your hands off that land. That would be it.
You know, interestingly, let me ask you one question there. Now, what can the citizens of Ghana now do? Because if this is happening, I can tell you that's why the Tiwa forest is going and nobody's saying anything. They'll go and then every forest area that's been reserved that will benefit. If we say we live in for some time and then our children who are supposed to enjoy life, I mean, what kind of life are they going to live?
We understand Achimota forest contains about 300 different species. That's what we are told. And like Felix is saying, Dubai and others, I mean, we're celebrating them. Akufo-Addo himself was singing praises of the president that died. This was a desert land. This was a desert. They've reclaimed it. They've done something with it. But here we are, right down our noses. Actually, it's a problem because, fellas, I don't know if you remember the airport stretch going to Asadabotwe. That area all has been destroyed. So even flights. You know, used to be because my uncle has a house close to. There used to be a belt that was reserved.
When you are driving from before the roundabout, the Tetekwasi place, you see there's a
now it's all gone. Now it's all gone. It's all gone. From what do you call it? Cantonment post office. Right down to where Pass and Gardens. You know, Pass and Gardens all the way. That area is gone. It's gone.
Wonderful people. Wonderful people. Felix, what do you think is the way forward for citizens? What do they have to do?
Look, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but unfortunately our people have chosen stupidity, and it's very difficult to move people who are stupid or have chosen stupidity as a way of living. You know, I don't think education is the issue, because most of the people who even talk on radio are fairly well educated, but they come across as very stupid.
Justifying the unjustifiable.
Yes, I don't know whether it's even exposure, because some of these people in some cases have also lived abroad. So I don't really know. I don't really know what the solution is, but I'm afraid our people will continue to suffer. You know, because in fact, I mean, this thing is so stupid that less than 72 hours ago there was flash flooding all over Accra.
Last Saturday it was bad.
Flash flooding all over Accra. And this has happened consistently, particularly in recent years, that people should be aware of the delicate nature of the environment they live in. And the fact that you have to make sure that to the best of your ability you do not disturb the environment. Yet they are sitting down, yet you have a document that has been published by a minister who says that effectively this forest ceases to be a forest, and is now telling us that, well, that's not what I meant something else. And actually it's not my decision, but it was a decision taken in 2013. Well, even if that happens to be the case, look, this government has even gone to the extent of removing an electoral commissioner.
So can't you change that?
So why can't you change that decision?
And especially when the president today is a deputy, the deputy head for climate change initiative. Are you getting me? The UN deputy for the climate change. So why can't you just even stand up my position and they don't give him that position because they are fools.
No.
They gave him that because this campaign that has gone on at Tiwa Forest and other, they put that was a responsibility on his head. You are to champion preservation of nature reserves and other things, and to actively encourage afforestation projects, reforestation projects. Here you are, backyard, your own country, where you are the deputy. What are you going to tell the other world? Just to go and speak English. Does English think
grammar goes green? It's G. Wow. Felix.
Look, I don't have anything to say. I mean, I don't know. I don't trust the cost system. Because you would have thought that in a situation like this, maybe somebody can use the cost system.
No, that's the last. That's why I don't even go there at all.
The judge is getting one plot already, so what do you care?
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens in countries such as the one you and I live in.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there are also grubby individuals in government who would like to take, government land.
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes you have to use the court system.
Yeah.
Taking into consideration that the country has assigned international protocols and so on and so forth, and they should comply with these international protocols. But I won't be surprised that almost everybody sitting in the judiciary probably is expecting a plot or two to be given to them as and when they become available.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure whether even. Yeah, go ahead.
I said, is that not how Georgina Wood got hers, and which was taken by Prophet Mills? That's what they do.
When I was a kid, anytime you walked around the cantonment area or from Ridge right all the way to Accra Central, you could actually do the whole journey without having a direct contact with the sun because they were
that whole area is gone. It's gone. It's gone.
Yes, today it's gone. Almost every picture that I see from Ghana, you hardly see any trees.
It's gone.
You hardly, particularly Accra, you hardly see any trees. And sometimes when you ask people, where are all the trees? It seems like they're not conscious of even there's a need for trees to be around.
No.
And do not forget, fellas, recently, is it Rich cluster of schools? Is it Rich cluster of schools?
Yeah.
That we had, they have.
Yeah. Well, around the Red Church area. Yeah, the catchment area.
That's exactly where we had a developer going to say that the land was sold to him in 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
And that was again part of the plan that was crafted, redevelopment and regeneration. That was under that plan. That's where that school was sold. That students were in school, they were told your school has been sold off. Can you imagine?
Go to school in your bedroom.
Can you imagine? And these are government lands. Every school is a government land.
Yeah.
And Archie, you see the worst of it, that redevelopment and regeneration thing that we're doing. I said this before, let me repeat. Part of this free SHS policy was tied into that regeneration policy. In fact, money was supposed to be given to party cronies to build hostels and boarding facilities on government lands. And what then government would then do is, okay, we are housing students in these hostels as part of the free SH policy. Right? We'll all be happy because our children have not been accommodated. But you mean that government on a monthly basis now have to pay these landlords? So what they were doing was to create generational property portfolios for their descendants for years to come.
This one and we have the students.
We release government land to you under this policy. We fund you to be the landowner, build properties similar to what was done with Zoom Lion. Go and clean our communities and we'll give you money. This one, we give you land, which is our land. You sign what we call private partnership. Public partnership. You give us 10% of the profit that you make, right? Wow. And this is what they were supposed to do. Why government invests? What kind of pension fund? It's neat. Teachers fund. What can they invest in that? Look, we need to understand the ideology that is at work. It has nothing to do with MPP. It has nothing to do with NDC. It has to be an ideology that is keen on transferring wealth, generational wealth, or what can be there for you and I from the hands of the state into the hands of the private individual. That's exactly. And when you have a kleptocrats involved, kleptocracy taking place across Africa, wherever you look at, that's exactly, the system. And actually, the end result will be that the next 10 years, even 10 years is too far, we're going to have serious civil unrest across Africa. It's going to get to a point the youth cannot take it anymore.
Of course.
You see, today, you haven't fixed the country demonstrating peacefully. Tomorrow will be fix their heads. Where they'll start bashing their heads to know that these are the heads that have messed that up. Let's mess them up. That's what it's going to get to. And if we don't see it, people will acquire wealth and one day they will lose it all. Because the youth will get to a point and say, you know what, bruh? You've had your 10.
Yeah,
you've enjoyed
it's our 10 now. Yeah.
Your car key, can I have it? Can I have it? Can I have the car key and your car document? That's what's going to happen. Actually, in this country, we've seen it before. We've heard it before. Where even sometimes there are areas you say no go area.
Yeah. Oh.
Because you go there, people confront you and say, empty your pocket. Empty your pocket. Anyway.
Well, listeners, it is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. That was the one and only Felix all the way in Aberdeen. And in his voice to the discussions with me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis and Archie. Now, we're looking at some other stories making the rounds in Ghana. But let me announce the lines open, 12:21 at time. Now, if you want to hop in, hop on now. And at 1 o'clock exactly, we'll bring the curtains down for the end of the program. The numbers are 0208-133-2257 or 58. 0208-133-2257 or 58. Now, if you're in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area, you want to join in as well. 0017183032737. 0017183032737. You can also text or WhatsApp us. It's 0753-966-1744. Our Twitter handle is Star Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. We're going to try to touch on a couple of stories before we bring the program to a close, but make your voice heard wherever you might find yourself.
And Frank, before we even finish that, I don't know, we have one of our big brothers, Mr. Yao, around with us. We'll be talking to him. He's a big man seated over there, so we'll talk to him. Samuel Jinapo also made some factual inaccuracy, or whether it's accuracy or
inaccuracy,
claims. He said what called the President Akufo-Addo was actually acting or responding to a petition that he was given. Look, actually, that can never be true, because at one breath you're telling us that you inherited certain decisions that were taken. That was the news item. At the same breath you're telling us that President Akufo-Addo was just responding to what you call it, a petition from the family,
the Owu family.
Actually, that can never be true, because at the end of the day, how many petitions has Akufo-Addo worked on? If Akufo-Addo has been petitioned several times, how many has he responded to? We know that he was petitioned under Article 146 to remove Justice Sophia Akufu as the Chief Justice. He refused to act upon it. Right?
He
was also petitioned to remove the EC Adukwe Mensah. He refused to act on it. Right? Why is it acting on it? He was also petitioned to basically what's it called, Dr. Nick Pakwetete. He was also petitioned to remove him from his workplace, looking at what happened within Kojo area, the downlands area.
Nothing happened.
So the question we then ask is, why, if anything at all, if there's no interest, even if the family has petitioned Akufo-Addo, why is he acting on this petition?
No, it's because people have got interest in there.
So
that's why I'm saying that. I mean, if we wait for the next 5 years, assuming the land is released to this family, there's no this and the land is released. Now let's do an introspection there, and you will see
the distraction that have been caused. In fact, if there's anything, history is a dialogue between the past and the, what happened with airport lands? What happened with rich lands? What happened with cantonment lands? Not, look, that alone should tell us that the political class are raping the citizens of. It's as simple as that.
You will not have the money to go and buy a land of 1 million. Let's say 500.
Even if you have the money, you are not qualified because you do not belong. You are not qualified. If I'm going to tell my boss, Uncle Yao, to go and buy one.
Oh, okay. Let Uncle Yao buy one, and then we can buy from him. Well, listeners, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 12:25. And as I said, feel free to join in the conversation as well. Well, this land issue will go on and on and on. Yeah, Mr. President, we want our forests back. Bright Simons is saying, which forest is that? You want to know that story? Don't worry, I will bring you more on that later on. But now let's look at the political landscape of Ghana. We know the NPP are doing their best. trying to fail whoever they think that will have to be the best flag bearer for them, and then we have the NDC doing their bit as well. But it looks like some school of thought seem to be saying that we will need a coalition to actually get the NPP out. Or get the MPP and the NDC out of the scene, but Frank, let's hold on to that. We have Felix who have joined in because we know, he calls all the way from Aberdeen. So let's go back to him. Felix, welcome once again.
Right, yeah, sorry about that. My line dropped.
That's okay.
Apologies about that. I'll just make a quick point and then I'll leave it at that. The minister is saying that they are responding to a petition.
Yep.
Do you know who the actual owners of the land upon which the Akosombo Dam was built? It's the Akwamu people.
Yeah.
Yes. Those people have forever become refugees in their own land. Right. Now, if the Akwamu people should make a petition to the president, is he going to say that he's going to give them the land back? In other words, pull down Akosombo Dam so the Akwamu people can get their land back?
No.
Is he going to do that?
No.
No. Right. So there comes a point where you have to accept that for the greater good of everyone, this cannot be honored. And that is the reason why even the so-called Owu family, their request should have been turned down. You can give them an alternative place for land use or whatever, and government has a chest of land over there or tracts of land over there, so they can give them one. In fact, even in Accra, government has land. It could be Ministry of Defense land, it could be what government has land. This is just an approach to steal land, a prime land. On one hand, it has one of the best secondary schools, whether you like it or not. It's produced a lot more presidents and prime ministers in our country than any other school. Close to it, it has the University of Ghana. Close to it, it has high-end residential settlements in Jowulu and some of these other places. Not far away from the airport. It doesn't have any issues regarding connection to the national grid in terms of electricity. It has some of the best hospitals within the University of Ghana Medical School.
The Ajimata Hospital there as well.
A lot of people probably don't know this, but the University of Ghana also has a well-established primary school, which is one of the leading primary schools in the country.
Ajimata Primary.
They call it University Primary.
University Primary.
Yes, they attend that. And it's not only Achimota that is within close proximity. Presec, Legon is within close proximity. Jimpa is within close proximity. What is it you call it? Trinity College,
Energy.
IPS, or University of Professional Studies. It's all within close proximity. And even if you go on the other side, you have is it St. John's Grammar?
St. John's Grammar.
St. John's Grammar is there.
And then you have Tesano, which is also not far away, from these places. Jowulu. I mean, it's as prime as you can get it. The only thing that it doesn't have access to is the sea. That is the only thing it doesn't have access to. Direct access to, shall we say. But even that, if you want to go to the beach every day, you can. So this is an attempt. We are not interested in the main forest. We want the peripherals. And then what will be the next thing? Oh, well, go in further. And then before that, they will say, oh, okay, it's largely an insignificant forest, to be honest. It's only a forest in name.
We have other forests in Ashanti, Uta, and Brunahafo. Let's just condemn this and do something with it.
I think people who are living around Alajo, Jowulu, Tesano, they need to rise up, because listen, if that place goes down, the flats that will, I mean, already there are flats there, but the flats that will come from that.
Hold on. In fact, I didn't know up until the last 40 seconds or so. Apparently, when that whole Achimota forest itself was the whole idea of the like God is made, Tesano was part of the forest.
Okay.
Yes. So the last growth of foundation, very little that has been left of it.
I see.
Tantra Hills all. To the forest.
Those
because you see,
Kisima area,
a fully matured forest where you probably don't see any daylight at all if you are walking underneath the forest because of the canopies and all the rest of it. But most forests, you have the wooded area, and sometimes you may have also some sort of open area that may look like a savanna kind of type.
Yeah.
But then you that sort of thing. Apparently, it was a huge area. Most of it has been taken over. Tesano is now a fully well-developed residential area, so that's been taken over. The powers that be sold that land. So what is virtually left now is the little left, and that one also they want to grab it because obviously they finish with Cantonment, they finish with Labone, they finish with Ridge, they finish with
so they want a new place.
And this is what is now left.
Yeah, in Accra.
Yes, grubby people.
Interesting.
Have a good day.
Have a good day, sir. Have a good day, sir. Well, listeners, it's quite interesting. Interesting. I don't know. Let's touch on this story and then we can take a break.
Yeah.
Would that be okay? All right then. Now, moves are underway to form a broad coalition that will challenge the NDC and the MPP in the 2024 election.
Yeah.
Now, this according to the Economic Fighters League, a radical and Nkrumahist movement focused on economic independence. That is a bit that I have a problem with because identifying themselves as Nkrumahis, the people who don't trust or believe in that might not come on. But the MPP and NDC have dominated Ghana's political landscape since their return to constitutional rule in 1992. The two parties have alternated between government and opposition in what has become a de facto two-party system. But do you think there could be a third force that can actually outwit these two parties?
Actually, to be honest with you, I'm going to use the same argument as the Yoruba Biafra argument that I have no problem people forming a political party and coming together, provided it's sincere and it's genuine. What we see, if you say the lies of Danlate, who may his soul rest in peace, they were kind of sincere, not what the son is doing now, because the son is not trading what the dad because he's not a politician. He's using that political party as to go and sit at IEA, collect money for MPP and cast a vote for MPP. That's what he does. But that was not the type of a person that was. If you take Eagle Party, Eagle Party will do bidding for NDC. So if Eagle Party come, we are Nkrumahis, we are doing this, and therefore they are only working for NDC. Okay. So for me, a third force, who is funding them? Who is behind it? Look, we know new political parties have been encouraged to register. And their target is to take votes from disillusioned people. In fact, that was a magic that worked in the year 2000. You recall the CPP, the Great Coalition. How was NDC kicked out of power? It was kicked out of power because the second round you saw Danlate, CPP, and other things. In fact, let me say this on record that some of us work for Kufo. I was in the voter region campaigning for MPP for Kufo. Are you getting me? That is how we got NDC out of power. What is being done today is being funded largely, and I can tell you largely, by the same political party that are in power. Because if our fortunes are going down, let's fund a radical wing that will take power or will take certain votes that the second round will come. Look, actually the question I asked this, I do not have a problem people from political parties, economic freedom fighters, they are genuine, they can do this, but I want them to come out to tell us that this is our manifesto. I do not want a manifesto that says we'll build a port in Cape Coast when we don't mean it. I do not want
when the harbor in Kumasi
where there's no sea. I do not want what do you call a manifesto that's apart from Impiansem, we're going to give you a very big airport that a jumbo jet 380 can land. A380 can land. No, because Akpafu is on a mountain. You're not going to be able to build an airport of that size over there. You're not going to be able to build it. We do not want that we'll build this. That's rubbish. Tell us strategically how the thinking, how you're going to affect the thinking the kind of policies you're going to come out, the direction you want to take the nation. If they can do that, fine. We'll be with them. But don't come and tell us stories that we've heard. who look, if there's anyone who has given promises to the country, this country that we call Ghana, I don't think any promise, if you pack them in the baggage, will outpass or outweigh Nana Akufo-Addo promises. What kind of promises did he?
Somebody was saying the other time, I think last Monday or Tuesday, that he is the one who has been able to, fulfill his promise, and that has built confidence in pledges or that.
And that could only be Gabi Ochedaku. That could only be this guy, not Gabi Ochedaku. This guy, Paul Adumotre.
Yes,
that can only be Paul Adumotre.
It's Paul Adumotre.
Okay, you should know the colors. When you see some people dancing, and they are dancing towards certain direction. Is he not the one who stole airport money under the
to buy
Christmas tree? So how do you expect? He knows he'll be prosecuted. He knows he's in line for jail. He knows he'll be prosecuted, so he'll sing the praises of whatever is going on to protect his interests. Are you getting me? Look, actually, the other issue I have with people who say Nkrumah, when you say you are Nkrumah, what do you mean?
Yeah.
People who claim you are Nkrumah you are Nkrumah. Is Nkrumah an ideology? Nkrumah is not. Why people not say we are Chechens?
Yeah.
Why are we not saying that? We are gorgeous Burns. We are Abraham Lincolns.
Yeah.
You are Nkrumahis. What does it mean to be an Nkrumah? Is it mean that you're going to live, or you're going to be born again at Nkrofo, or where?
That would be a wonderful one.
So
very interesting.
If people say they are Nkrumahis, what do they mean by Nkrumahis? Look, it is true that the ideologies that were espoused by the likes of Nyerere, the likes of Nkrumah, and all those ones are things that if we had followed, probably would have been better off.
Yeah.
Right? Let's repackage those ideologies. If we want to now rename those ideologies in Ghana context and Nkrumah's ideology, this is Nkrumahism. And Nkrumah, don't tell me Nkrumah. What does it mean to
be an Nkrumahist?
If you say we practice Nkrumahism, okay, what sort of policies will affect education? How are you going to think in education?
Yeah.
How are we going to do agric? What are we going to look at? A champion who said Operation Feed Yourself.
Yeah.
Should have called himself an Nkrumahist.
Yeah. Because that was one of the.
Jonathan should have called himself an Nkrumahist. People should not. Look back and say, between the battle, Akufo-Addo's father, the JB Dankwas, the betrayers, and Nkrumah's, the boy that was actually brought in to come and be writing letters, and saw that when the media mastered, they were drinking tea, chewing biscuits. At the end of the day, they come to tell people lie, and therefore revolted against the people who wanted to rob them. Those battles that went on over there, we shouldn't. Who come to those say we are forming a political party in Nkrumah's ideology? What does it mean to be an Nkrumahist? I don't know. They should be able to tell us, or I might know. But those who think that we are now forming a political party to be Nkrumahist, or we are Nkrumahist politics, Great Coalition Nkrumah, what does it mean? Actually, if they tell them Nkrumah, what does it mean?
Yeah.
If they tell your son, what does it mean to be an Nkrumah? What does that mean?
No clue.
No clue. And you find out that some of those who are claiming to be an Nkrumah, Papa Kwe syndrome, when he had an opportunity claiming he was an Nkrumahist, when people he was part of those who sold Ghana's properties. In fact, he was one of those who was in charge of even Jerry's when Jerry Lawrence was doing what they call it, were selling off state industries and other things. They were part of those who were advising, and they were part of that's how some of his wealth came by.
Okay.
Buying properties in the name of family and this thing, using the privileged position that we had at that time. Are you getting me? So all those who are said they were Nkrumah, when they had an opportunity in Kufuor's government, what did they do?
Interesting.
Akpalu will tell you he's also trending towards Nkrumah. What did he do under MPP? He was given a contract, ECG. What did he do? So Archie, you see, I don't have a problem. Freedom, they can form as many political parties as they want, but no one should come and be saying that I'm Nkrumah just because you think that the youth has been brought up to believe that Nkrumah is the only angel stand. Nkrumah was not an angel.
He had his own flaws.
Yes, we admit that he had policies that if we had followed those policies, probably would have been better off. If those are the policies that you want, Technology has changed.
Yeah.
How are you going to take those ideologies, modify them for them to become relevant
in
today?
this day? Yeah.
That is what we want to be hearing. Don't come and Nkrumah is crowd. It's nonsense coming to tell me about that.
Okay. Frank says it's nonsense telling him that you want to form Nkrumahist party. What is Nkrumahist? Well, let's take this song, and once we come back, we'll be going to Niger, where the Nigerian president is saying that Mali's withdrawal marks the death of the G5 Sahel alliance. That means that we're going to be having an influx of terrorism in that part of the world. That means the sub-Saharan Africa, that's West Africa area. Well, stay tuned, don't you go away. Enjoy the song from Zonga Man.
The problem of Africa is they lead. Africa. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is they lead. Africa. Who run things, who run things, who run things. Them all go to universities. Universities award them degrees. Big degrees. Degrees. Big degrees. MSc in stealing. Bachelor of Arts, mismanagement. Another degree. Masters in looting. MSc in corruption, Bachelor of Science, nepotism, MSc in 4 years, Bachelor of Arts in discipline, MSc in embezzlement. The problem of Africa is the lead. Africa. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is the lead. Africa. Who run things, who run things, who run things. Some of them went to London, London School of Fools, where they were awarded degrees in foolishness, PhD in stupidity, MSc in foolishness, PhD in dishonesty, PhD in recklessness, Bachelor of Arts in selfishness, MSc in greed, another degree, BSc maladministration, PhD in quasi-assem, PhD pull him down, MSc in kill your donkey. The problem of Africa is they lead. Africa. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is they lead. Africa. Who run things, who run things, who run things. Kwame Nkrumah, when he stood in Independence Square, declared that the African is capable of managing his own affairs.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 1:45 the time, the morning show, the Thursday edition. And I think that you've enjoyed the program, haven't you? Well, as Zongoman said, the problem of Africa is the greed. People want to chop and chop and chop and chop. And when they are having their belly food, they are still chopping. What can we do? But well, you know, you can add your voice to the discussions wherever you are. With me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis. I am Archie, and we are coming to the telltale end of the program. But stay tuned. Let's try to touch on a couple of stories before we bring the program to a close. Now, the first one that I wanted to touch on again is pertaining to Niger. The Nigerian president says that Mali's withdrawal marks the death of the G5 Sahel alliance. Niger's president has said Mali's withdrawal, a multinational force created to fight Islamist militants, will mark the end of the alliance. President Mohamed Bayoum made the remarks in an interview with French daily La Croix. Bazoum said Mali's isolation was undermining the fight against insurgents. Now, we know with the coup d'etat that took place in Mali and the sanctions by the West African body, the ECOWAS, has made Mali now isolated. And because of the actions of France towards them, they decided to now shut themselves up. I think they are approaching which country?
Togo.
This African country that went into war.
Rwanda.
Rwanda for help. They've approached them. But the question is, if this actually doesn't work, because that means people they can concentrate. These terrorists can concentrate in Mali, and then from there just sprint out. I mean, the sub-region would be like mashed out.
Actually, I hear what the Niger president is saying. In fact, my father is there now. I don't know if he might returned.
Okay. What do you call it?
Taliban. Alhaji Suleiman. Look, Archie, let's be honest with ourselves. What do they mean by Mali isolation? Isolation from what? From where? Is it because they do not want to be controlled by French again? This Niger president, where is he making the comment to the French to please them?
Okay.
Look, if because they've taken themselves out of that alliance, they're not going to be working with French again, because the French soldiers are those training, commanding, and supplying equipment, and again we're paying for it with our own currency. And all those weapons are coming from the French companies creating jobs over there. If the Malians are taking themselves out, they don't want to play ball with the French, and then the Niger people think that security alliance, the terrorists are not just going to hit Mali alone. They will do Niger.
Yeah, they're just going to. They will hit Niger. They will hit all those areas.
Mali must fight its own battle. If Mali cannot protect its citizens, or cannot protect its territorial, area, its sovereign area, because we shouldn't get to a point where the French should determine for the security architecture of our area. And that's exactly what has happened. Mali has now invited Russian forces to help train its military and to aid its operations. So if you're saying that because they moved out of the French control alliance, they've actually isolated themselves, it's up to you. Deal with your own cup of tea. They also deal with that. I don't see anything problem with it at all. In any case, the terrorists in Nigeria, is Nigeria part of the alliance?
No, but they are.
So the terrorists in Nigeria, are they not killing every day?
They are.
Archie, let's move on.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Well, we thought that Trump was sleeping, but he's not sleeping. A quick one from the US. Trump urges Dr. Oz to declare victory in the cliffhanger Senate vote. Now, the story says that former President Donald Trump has urged celebrity Dr. Mehmet Oz to declare victory in Tuesday's too close to call Pennsylvania Republican Senate primary, even as votes show his lead narrowing. With over 95% of the votes counted, Dr. Oz's lead, he leads with 31.2% of the vote compared to 31.1% for his challenger Dave McCormick. But it looks like Trump wants Oz to win.
Actually, what you look at, this is an internal party contest. That's what we should. It is not. It's an internal party to determine which of the Republican candidates will stand for the Senate. And again, this is one of the reckless comments that Donald Trump can make again, similar to what he wanted to do last 2 years when he was contesting, when he contested and lost the presidential elections. You know, he was urging his supporters to go celebrate. He was trying to declare. Results are being counted. Ballots are being counted. The results is too close to call. Should you go and declare victory now? What are you telling the radicals?
They will say that they won, and then there will be this clash is going to go on.
That should even tell every politician in the Republican Party and even the US that Trump has not changed. Given a next opportunity,
he'll do the same, or even worse off.
He will do worse. I mean, this doctor, I don't think he's going to follow that. A lot of votes might have gone his way because of the people he's also associated with. You know, he used to appear in Oprah Winfrey's show a lot. Another, he is one, I mean, known. But he's close to Trump. So Trump sees this as a test case for his popularity within the party. If this guy can win, it means that the Trump camp can now say that, okay, our back candidate we can now use this as an example. I pray he loses.
Well, they said if the margin between them is 0.5%, then there has to be a recount. So we'll see what happens on that front. But listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. We're going to be running up. The Prime Minister will not face any further Partygate fine. And this makes it quite a difficult situation for Keir Starmer, because Keir Starmer's we've not had the Durham police coming out to say what their stake or their stance has been, and he has promised that if he is found guilty and is handed out a fine, he's going to resign. But this is our Prime Minister who was handed down a fine. He said that I'm not going, forget it, I'm sorry for what we did. We didn't actually know that we were breaking the rules. But so what challenge or what pressure that is
actually, I think the media is also been not being truthful with the information that they're bringing. They're spinning the whole stuff a little bit. And look, Archie, the Metropolitan Police has decided today publish the final list of those who were fined. Now they've also told us that a total of 8 events, people who attended a total of 8 events were actually fined. How many of those 8 events did Boris Johnson attended? They've also told us that they will not publish the details of the latest list of those who have been fined. Are you getting me? So one, the Metropolitan Police are not telling us the additional individuals that were actually given fines. They're also not telling us why, if 3 people attended the same event, 2 are given fine and one is not given. Is it because the person has already been fined on another event,
so they didn't want to,
which will mean that it is not that you did not commit a crime, but you are not going to fight because we've already given you the fine.
Are they thinking of instability? They're thinking that because with what is going on around the world now,
that is where the problem should be. You should not be thinking of the instability or whatever. Boris Johnson, if that is the case, cannot use Ukraine war to justify his continuous stay. I'm not saying he should leave, but I'm saying that if that is strategy, it is wrong. So if the media is coming to tell us that Boris Johnson will not face further fines, the police have not said that. The details of 126 people that have been fined, we know Boris Johnson was handed over one fine, but the police are telling us that why did they publish the other name? They released the but now they are telling
this one they don't release. I think his name is in maybe a few.
Why?
Say it's okay, just leave it.
And of those 8 parties, how many did he attend? If we can zero down the number of parties he attended, because
I know you know the one that they were in at the back of the number 10 there, where they were sitting in the garden. His friend was there as well and having cheese and wine. Not his birthday. He was there. He was there, and the wife was. So why were
and the wife's birthday? But the wife also had an event over there. All those were being investigated. So the question now here is, why are they not giving her the list of others who have? Is it because Boris Johnson's name is over there?
And
he cannot stand the pressure? Let's give us a break, Archie.
Well, we think that it's only Africa where people can do chukoko, but chukoko goes on everywhere. We can see it going on here. But listen, it is Starr Radio UK. We're going to be running up pretty soon. This morning, a police officer made a statement saying that, well, with the price hikes and the pressure that is going on in the country at the moment, the cost of living that is skyrocketing, people should be, having a slap on the wrist when it happens that people go into a shop and steal. Maybe the person goes to steal food to eat. He said they should just receive a slap on the hand. Now, the police, you use their own discretion to see whether this. Let's forget it. So you have your corner shop. Somebody comes in, come and take some biscuit. You call the police. They say let him go. So do you think it's going to bring about a high rise in crime rates?
I think there are laws that already deal with some of those things. If you look at drug laws, the possession of drug with intent to supply has different interpretation that when they stop my car and see a joint of weed, probably you've seen weed, a one roll of weed in my car. Where did I get it? I bought it from a mate. What I'm going to take it, what I'll get will be a slap, something little. But when they stop my car and find
a starch
of, they're saying that is, it comes with intent to supply. So the punishment will be different. If I go into a shop, if someone goes into a shop, and we know it's not every case that the police have been prosecuting.
Of course.
If someone enters Sainsbury's, take sandwich, they say, and start running off, the police are never going to waste time to prosecute. It is not Ghana or Nigeria where you go to steal a finger of plantain and you are given 7 years imprisonment. That is not it. We know traditionally that they will just give you sometimes what they call an order. They give an order, they buy you from going to that shop for, they don't waste time. Now, what is trying to say that, look, expect more of these desperate movements and actions to take place. Whether I can stop you and give you a slap, a colleague might stop you and might not do it. Can the police administration take an official step, and can the public prosecutor, the chief, RAB, what's his post?
The Justice Secretary.
The Justice Secretary look at this and see if there's something that can be done. But the other question, would they encourage people going to shops?
That is a problem. And people will be thinking, okay, I don't, because it's my little money that I have that I'm going to buy goods to come and put in my shop to come and sell. And you are coming to steal. And then you have a slap on the wrist and go, I'm going to get a taser.
We might have to look at whether we should encourage them to go to big shops
should go to the shops.
Or those that, because it's a small shop, I'm going to get pepper spray. You come and spray you first. So actually, we cannot use the hardship to justify crime. We cannot. The most important thing is every analyst will tell you that for those that are desperately poor, even a £20 a week, a £30 a week addition can help them. Now we are also told that if the man, Mr. Yao, is an oil man, if we tax their industry with a windfall tax, we might have enough to be able to cushion the desperately poor in the society. Why is government not taking an action that will safeguard people now?
They seem to be spinning that around, saying that Labour is calling for high taxes on business. And that is not what they are saying at all.
That is not sinking with people. High taxes. We're talking on high cost of living. High cost of living, and we're saying now, look, this is an unexpected problem. If you go to the business plan of BP, Shell, yesterday I went to one BP station. Guess how much petrol was? I let it. 175.
Oh man.
Yes, 175.
Diesel will be about 190.
175. If you go to their projections 2 years ago, they normally will have a 5 years projection, investment plans and other things. They will go in there. If you go in there, you wouldn't find a declaration or what they will say, okay, profit, we expect profit at this time to be 7 billion first. No. Those projections will never have taken place. Are you getting me? And we know oil firms are now making a hell of money. A hell of money. The pumps keep on going up, and petrol is trickling down to every little thing in this country. And you keep on telling us. We also not told that oil supply has reduced.
No, it's there. They are pumping.
So you see, oil supply has not reduced. We are not talking about a situation where we are shortage of crude.
It is there.
More crude is coming on stream. So what is causing it? Probably we should have invited Mr. Yao to tell us a little bit about what is happening over there. Because at the end of the day, Archie, the oil companies are making money. And who are those who control the oil companies?
The big foods, the conservative. Well, Bossman says, leave my boss alone. Pertaining to what Boris said, he was stressed up and releasing some tension. And he said, if the police cannot find even a car, how can they follow up on a biscuit thief? You don't have time for a biscuit thief. Leave them alone.
You know, they're not going to be able to do that. They're not going to be able to do that. It's so that they are overzealous security men, mostly our black Nigerians and Ghanaians. Kenyans who have been employed by this, and they want to show. I mean, they are employed to do that job, and therefore when you venture into them, they want to get a promotion.
Flexing their muscles.
I have a friend of mine who does security at Whitgift Center. If you don't know, you go to any of those Zara shops, and if he gets you.
Well, if you are desperate, it's not clothing. It's only food that you can go and take. You are hungry, get food and don't go and get
But the situation is getting desperate. It's a desperate situation. Energy bills, in fact,
it's scary. It's scary, I tell you.
One thing I'm going to advise people to do, if you're someone who like oven food, turn down the use of your oven a bit, because you know most ovens are electric unless it's gas oven. And the gas is so by the end it's a whole lot that is going on.
I think yesterday I was telling the missus, I said now I need to look at some of the expenditure in this house and bring about some cuts.
You know what
they said? What?
You know what you do? You need to list them. Go and get a whole, the flip chart paper. List everything and place it on the kitchen. And you say, tick important one. And so you give 1 week for everybody to tick that.
What they think that they can work on.
The one that you think I can do without. Within a week, on the dining table, you put the plate. You tick Kwame. You tick that. This one. Why do you need 10 bacon every morning?
It's desperate times, honestly, because I'm just thinking about people who because they're saying that even police they're getting up to about they said those who just entry point they get take home is 1,200 here.
Actually, 30 years ago, when you are recruited as a fresh police officer in this country, I know this because I know someone who was recruited. Your take home in 1990s, 1990, if you were employed as a police officer, was £1,000
at that time.
Today, they are taking home those in London area are taking home an average of 1,008, 1,006, depending on the ranks, and 1,002. So, for the last 30 years, what we are being told is that their salaries have gone up by £800. Actually, 30 years ago, a property that today is worth 500,000 was worth around 125,000, 150,000. A mortgage that someone was paying, or what someone will be paying today with a variable rate, probably 400 a month, 30 years ago was about 50 something. Right? If you look at a quantum jump from 50 something pound to 400 pound, that alone has taken off half of the 800 that they are being given. When you tell me, Frank, go to the police service, and I say, mean to me, don't blame me.
No, I'm worried about that. We're going to run it up. I'm worried about that because you know what compromises our security agencies in Africa. Because what they are earning is not enough,
and that's where the drug laws will inflate them. And then let me tell our brothers and sisters, the police are not happy. An unhappy police is a brutal police. When a police officer arrests you today, the beatings you're going to get will be more than
Floyd.
Actually, but that is true. The police are angry before they get to work. Don't go. Look, when you're driving a car, the police stop you. Please stop.
Because you see that they are giving them, they never work. They are giving them tasers. So
do not go and get a police officer angry at this time. A hungry man
is an angry man.
Thank you.
Well, that is how we bring the program to a close. But today, Bossman has said another one. He said, all we need to do is to switch off all appliances and sockets. It helps a lot to save energy and money. Some advice for you.
Let's take an audit of a room. What are we going to switch off? Fridge can't switch.
You can't switch off. You can't switch off the fridge.
You can lower the temperature, the thermometer. You can bring it down instead of 5. You can bring it down. So if it's working, the thermostat calm down. You can switch off. What are we going to switch off? Television. Okay, so you switch
microwave.
Off microwave on the wall.
Yeah, on the wall.
Okay, you rush home. You switch off your boiler. And you now want to bath. You now turning it on.
Now before it's going to work.
So you're gonna wait again. Time is money.
Yeah.
Someone who works at dawn, they leave to do cleaning. They come back. They have to take a bath to their second job. How do they turn that socket off? What's my difficult too?
It's difficult, and I don't know how landlords. I mean, are going to be dealing. Especially, I don't know what
the difficulty again over there is that you want to increase rent because your electricity has gone up. Your council tax has gone up. Your water bill has gone up. The councils are now on your neck for a permit because their permits are also going up. Where your tenants used to park for free, they are now
being charged. And
then the tenants telling you told me when I signed the agreement, free parking, I have to pay. Now to even increase rent for the tenants, they are also complaining that they are also suffering. Archie, you know what? Good afternoon. Let me go to my father, Uncle Kojo, Uncle Yao.
Okay, listeners, we want to say thank you very much. It's been a very lovely day. We hope that you enjoy the program. But remember, tomorrow will be coming your way once again with another edition of the morning show. But remember, this afternoon, exactly at 6 o'clock, we'll be bringing you a repeat broadcast of BB Means Business, and then tomorrow. My apologies. And then at 7 o'clock, the Property Hour show 2 will be coming your way with KB Botsman and Vicky Newton. So make a date with them on all those programs. There's going to be lots of music this afternoon as well. But well, what do you think will be discussed tomorrow? You want to know more? Make sure you make a date with us when we come on. We'll be having our money man. He'll be telling you more how to save money in these desperate times. But on that note, we say have a lovely day. From me and Mr. Frank Davids, we say bye-bye for now.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.